I was live on the air when the governor's first tweet went out basically announcing that this had happened.
So, those first few hours, it was the afternoon whenever the story was breaking from other outlets. And my colleague and I, Ashton, we sort of picked up and tried to gather as much information as we could at that point. So,
I think one of the difficult things when you try to compare any natural resource like water to another natural resource like coal or any mineral that maybe gets mined is that the economic value of water spread across so many different facets of life that it almost gets, pardon the pun, but it gets diluted. Its real value gets diluted because you've got a tourism sector, you've got a quality of life sector. People's willingness to pay for clean water is huge. You've got a recreational sector, you've got the power industry sector. And then of course you have the drinking water sector, and all of these things draw on the value of water. But there's no single thing to point to. There's no tons per year produced in a county that has a real tax, a single tax revenue that you can point to.
This event started on Twitter with Governor Earl Ray Tomlin's initial tweet a little after 5:30 that day. And it became a Twitter event. It became a social media event. And I think it's one of the best examples I've seen of the way social media very quickly engages large numbers of people and can give quick snippets of information, updates to a continuing story in a very effective way. And I think it really shows the power of community when it comes to a story like this, because Facebook is in essence an online community, and Twitter in a different sense is also an online community. And these were people all from the same general area, but others who just had an interest in the area, getting information very quickly through a non-traditional sense.
Now, moving into the future, there is no question that the value of water will only go up. And that's true everywhere. So everywhere the value of water will continue to go up as we continue to pollute waterways and as we continue to have increased demand for that water.
I think West Virginia Public Broadcasting established itself in the digital and social media sphere in some capacity because of the chemical spill. The role of Twitter was, it's impossible to imagine what that situation would have been like without social media, especially Twitter. I think we jumped in following by the hundreds as the days went on. And again, that was a mix of methods of aggregating or retweeting certain trustworthy sources or blasting out information about where water would be available, clean water would be available.
So you see how dependent then we have become as a state on our few really clean, productive water sources like the Elk River. And as we lose rivers and their value of drinking water and become dependent on very few, then we become very susceptible to something that would seem like to be a localized event. And instead, that localized event, it touched a third of the state, the residents. So there's a lesson in that, that the less we protect, the more dependent we become on a very, very scarce resource, and the more vulnerable then we are to spills like this.